All right. So let's talk really quickly. I think we covered this, but how to become active. Like, what are kind of I mean, we just talked about how to be active at the Capitol building, but like,
Right.
how do we do this in general in our communities with organizations?
Yeah. Well, nationally, Children's Health Defense is everywhere. It's even international. So it's in other countries. It's a great place to start. Sign up for the emails both at the national level and at your state level. So almost all, I would be guessing, but I think 36 states now have chapters. So Oregon has its own Children's Health Defense chapter, which you and I sit on the board. So signing up for your individual state emails too, because those are going to give you what's going on here in Oregon as far as things you should know about and get involved with, like bad bills, good bills, things going on with EMF, things going on, with education. And so make sure you've got both a grip on a local level and on a national level. There's also Oregonians for Medical Freedom. Sign up for their emails as well, because they also have a powerhouse and a lobbyist. And so they need lots of volunteers and lots of help as well. Children's Health Defense has most of our counties have an ambassador here in Oregon. So there are local meetings. So like I'm in Deschutes County. We try to get together every month or so and have either a topic we're going to speak about, or maybe we have a speaker coming in who's teaching about health, and you're getting to be with members in your community. And we talk about what's going on in our county, like what are our local elected officials doing, what's happening at our school boards, what's happening down the street, things that you need to know about. And it covers a bunch of topics that Children's Health Defense cares about. And you're also meeting people who can be friends and support system for you. I know through these past, 4 years, it's been pretty divisive. So having just a place where you can find other people who are very different from you in a lot of ways, but this is the one thing that we all really care about and we can support each other on. I've made a ton of friends that way. I've met a lot of practitioners who are holistic that way, so that, you're getting like, who's the best dentist? Who's the best naturopath? Who's the chiropractor I should see? Who's like on our page? It's just a great resource and a great community. So I think those are the best ways to get involved. And we need lots of volunteers. So you can do as little or as much as you want when it comes to helping out. But the more people who are willing to be there to do some things, the more powerful we are and the bigger impact we can have.
Yes, absolutely. And don't underestimate your skill set. So if you're a graphic designer in Oregon and you want to help us, please come.
IT. Oh my God,
Yeah,
do we need social
IT,
media?
social media, tech, like maybe you're good at copywriting, maybe you're good
Yeah,
at whatever skill set that you have. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily go man the booths or
right.
stand at tables and, deal with other people if you don't even want to. But if you can bring your particular skill set to the table and help these organizations, you really can help everybody level up. I think that's, a
Absolutely.
great way to bring your gifts to the world for a cause that matters to you
Yes.
through an organized group that has some backing behind it.
Mhm.
And it's better than getting angry and going on rants on social media by yourself. It's
Absolutely. And keep in mind, these are all volunteer, unpaid organizations. So none of us are getting paid to do this. We're all doing it because we're passionate, and people do get burned out. So the more help we have, the more we are able to continue going. And if you do have some funds and you can donate, thank you. Please do. There are costs behind this, whether it's printing out materials, paying for speakers, paying for books, taking the time to go up and, lobby does take some funds. So we would appreciate any donations that you could maybe put forward. Even if all of our members who are on our email list right now gave us $2 a month, it would fund us for a whole year. $2 a month.
wow.
That's all we need. Just a
Yeah,
recurring $2. Give up. It's not even a cup of coffee.
that would be powerful.
Yeah.
And it also keeps you abreast of what's going on. And so when nonsense starts coming down the chute, notified when it's time to rally, when it's time to organize and group up and start having conversations, So, and you're really good about keeping me and the board up to date and an Oregon chapter. And I know that the National Children's Health Defense, it does a spectacular job of
Mhm.
really staying on top of the news of what's happening.
Yeah.
So that's just, I mean, that national email that I get almost every day, I think it comes out daily. Like that's how I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And
Tender. It's amazing.
Yeah, really important. So, and again, if all you can do is give money, money is great too. Any way that you can support the, I don't want to say the fight, but that's really what it, in some places that's what it's coming down to. So,
Absolutely.
I was on the association for the Oregon Naturopathic Association and Doctor Association. And I left that organization so that I could come be on this board because this was way closer to my heart at the end of the day. Without medical freedom, what's the point of even being a doctor, right? So
Yeah.
I felt, and you guys are my people. And so, like you said, it helps you find your people. There's been times when I've invited followers to some of our events, and folks will come and they all say the same thing at the end. They're like, thank you so much for inviting me today or notifying me or whatever it was. I found my people today. I don't feel so alone. And it's been so isolating. And I think, again, that was partially intentional. And it's been a lonely few years for a lot of people who are maybe they've lost their entire family through
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
saga, and they've lost all their friends and they've lost their jobs, and and they're feeling alone. There are other people. And again, I think you and I are old enough to remember when politically I used to sit around with Republican friends,
Yeah.
Democrat friends, I
Independent.
mean, I used to have employees that were like far left wing. I had employees that were super conservative. Everybody got along in the office. Everybody
Everybody.
was there for, and we could have
Yes.
conversations that were intellectual, and we could challenge each other, and it always made you think a little harder.
Mhm.
And being open to someone else's perspective, whether or not you agree with it or not, is not the point. And I feel like we've all just gotten on our teams
Yeah.
and we're losing. And I know that, RFK talks about this a lot, and the team thing, this has got to go away. And so being a part of an organization where, you might be in there with people of different ages, different
Mhm.
backgrounds, different
Mhm.
beliefs on some other fundamental issues, but we're,
100%.
like you said, we're in the one thing that matters to us, the fight.
Yeah. And we have to be able to disagree because like that's how science works. You have to have someone challenge you, you have to disagree, and you still have to be okay with, well, that's not how I think that works, or that's not what I think about that topic, but we agree on this and let's work together so that we can maintain this fundamental right to choose what goes into our bodies.